Hello, hello, hello. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Now Stock Trades. This is going to be a very quick and dirty video. I'm going to be going really fast. I'm really exhausted, but I really want to, this video is very important. Like always, this is educational advice, not financial. I am not a financial advisor, okay? I'm not licensed in anything financial. Understand that. All right. So in this video, we're going to go ahead and talk about this new hire. A lot of people are sleeping on this. It is what it is, but let me explain to you why this is important. Counterpart Health expands leadership to accelerate enterprise partnerships and regional adoption of AI-powered platform Counterpart Assistant. Again, the whole use of AI, right? Again, this is to accelerate enterprise partnership, right? We're talking like big things. I'm not going to go ahead and read this. You can read it yourself. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to read the obvious. You guys can do it, right? The big thing that I want to talk about is, so I made a PowerPoint slide where we go in and we pretty much connect the dots. And here are my sources, but we're going to just go ahead and connect these dots here, okay? Also, shout out to PALMJ Junior for his effort in showcasing this, as we're going to be talking about this, because a good job on that. So again, this is like the stuff that we talked about inside lifetime access, but this is very important, and I'm just going to kind of cut to it here. This guy here, Blaine here, now he got hired for Counterpart Health Growth Partners. He actually worked at what's it called? Aladade. I'm going to call it Alanita. I don't know. It just sounds, Alanita sounds so much better than Aladade. How about this? I'm just to say he worked for Daddy. I'm just called his Daddy, okay? Because, we're retail investors, right? We're not as smart as these people, right? So I'm just going to call his Daddy. So he worked for Daddy for 5 years, right? So he worked for Daddy's for about 5 years and 9 months. And he was the executive director, vice president of Southeast region, and the vice president of growth strategies and enterprise. And you can see that's, 2019. Keep in mind, right? So, okay, what is Alanita, right? Or Al Daddy, right? Well, if you look at the stock price of Al Daddy, now wait a minute. You're like, wait a minute, stock price? Is this publicly traded? No, it's a private company. But you can look at private company stock prices. So I can just close this so you guys can get a better grip on this. So you can actually look at private companies' stock prices. We're going to be including that. We're going to get it into it lifetime access. But, I think this is pretty good to see the point here. So you could see the history of Al Daddy. You could see that it increased 3,000%. So it was a 30 bagger and it went up $31. So that means, if you look at the stock price here, because, retail investors love stock price, right? If you look at the stock price, it was $32.94. But then if you go ahead and subtract $31.88, it used to be this company used to be worth $1.06 per stock, pretty much for the stock price lower than Clover's. Now, again, this is a little bit misleading because the market cap is a lot lower. If I understand this correctly, the market cap here is around 3.5 billion. But this company had nothing. Like if you look at here, you can't even, like, if you zoom in all the way here, you can see the stock price was like $1.23. It was nothing. And then you could see how it exploded. The stock price exploded to 3,000%. In fact, this is at $33. It used to be worth like, in the $53 region. So if I pause right here and I just kind of go like this, you could see it says now let me zoom in because, sometimes it's hard to read this. If I actually go to this peak here and I just pause, you can see that it says 4,888%. So this was a 48 bagger, right? So this, and so when did it become a bagger? Well, he was part of the company for a long time, but as soon as he became Mr. Growth Daddy, you could see the stock just basically shot up, right? The private company. Once he became, what was it called? The vice president of growth strategy and enterprise partnerships. And it says here, 2019 to 2021. Look what happened in 2019. So what is this? What the hell is this? Oh yeah, this is the thing he worked for. That's Blaine right there. I'm like, who Who's this lady? Is that his mom or something? Oh no. No, I don't think it's his mom. I don't know. I haven't read this, but I'll read it later. But yeah, this man, you know who this, his smile, you know what his smile reminds me of? Tucker Carlson. I mean, I kid you not, right? Carlson smile. I mean, doesn't it? I don't know. He just has a very nice smile. I mean, maybe I'm off. Never mind. Right? Never mind. I'm tired, guys. He looks well put, but I don't know. Tucker doesn't look well put in those pictures, to be honest with you. So maybe I rescind my comment. But in any case, you can see here, you can see that as soon as he became in 2019, he started his growth strategies, enterprise partnerships. What happened to the daddy stock, right? The daddy went like triple daddy, right? It pretty much went 40x daddy, right? So I hope that you see this, right? There's no BS, okay? And again, you compare to Teladoc, HIMSS, and again, we're in that arena, guys, okay? You're starting to realize the stocks that I look at, right? They're all kind of relative to, one another. All right. So what else are we going to talk about? Oh, just again, tangent. We're not going to be talking about this a lot, but just tangent. AMC on the voting for annual meeting is approving or trying to approve an amendment to where it's trying to raise more stock for, I guess, dilution from like 550 million to like 1.1 billion. I mean, I don't know, dude. What the hell's I mean, I feel so bad. Dude, look at AMC. It looks like a flat line, man. Like this thing needs like CPR, man. Like this thing needs, look at this. It'll go, there was life. Hopefully there's some, like literally, it just went, literally this AMC stock, it went tachycardia. Just done, dude. Just literally done. So sad. Anywho, that's why it's important to understand fundamentals, right? Because it's funny. And this guy, he ended up selling his shares for retirement. Man, get out of here, man. I don't trust him. All right, so before I connect the dots, I made this. Created by Albert Allen, MS4, right? So I made this. I just want to show you something. So watch this. So a patient presents with DKA. I'm pretty proud of this. A patient presents with DKA. Will apply. First, let me reload it. We good? All right. Patient presents with DKA. We'll apply it. Then we'll start the simulation. So DKA, glucose goes up. You can see glucose going up. Beta hydroxybutyrate goes up. To all the folks. The doctors. Right. Then you have bicarb. Right. Bicarb. Goes down, right? Bicarb starts to go down because, the patient's undergoing diabetic ketoacidosis. Anion gap just goes crazy, goes up. Henderson-Hasselbalch equation, pH is like really low, and you got potassium. So what do you do? Well, first off, you want to give them fluids, right? Whenever a patient comes in with this, I'm not going to explain the pathophysiology. I just want to show you like the treatment plan here. And there's different types, right? There's like DKA with vomiting, you get diabetic ketoalkalosis, which is different than acidosis. Just because they're vomiting. And then SGLT2 inhibitors, Jardians can actually cause a DKA, but you can't know it's DKA. You'll get euglycemic, which is pretty cool. But anyway, just a normal DKA. You start fluids. What happens when you start fluids? You start fluids, all of a sudden the anion gap starts to go down. Bicarb starts to go up. Beta hydroxybutyrate starts to go down. pH slowly starts to rise. Potassium, again, goes down, which is okay. But the problem is you want to replace potassium if it's under 3.3. So you can go ahead and get potassium, but I would just wait until it's under 3.3. You can start insulin. Why? Because look, the glucose level is high as hell, but we're trying to fix the anion gap, right, with all the fluids. But watch, as soon as you start insulin, then all of a sudden now the glucose, goes down, anion gap recovers, bicarb actually starts to go up, beta hydroxybutyrate takes a dive, right? And then but the problem is this glucose is starting to basically go down, right? And I made this, guys. Isn't this pretty cool? Like I mathematically modeled the human body physiology. I freaking love this, right? Anyway, here's the glucose, and the glucose goes down. But as soon as it goes under less than 250, you want to give them dextrose, right? So they're approaching almost 250. Now, why do you want to give freaking glucose for someone that? Well, because, man, you don't want hypoglycemia. That can kill you, right? So again, these are really cool things. It really helps you understand the physiology of the body, because the whole point is you want to normalize the anion gap. You want the bicarb to be normal. You want the beta hydroxybutyrate to not be a lot. And then you want the glucose to essentially come down. And then you can like speed it up. This speeds it up, I believe, a little bit. And then this starts to do its thing. And then you start to basically, it's, diagnostic helper, normal pattern, and all these things here. And then, here's your things. And then, there it is, right? Pretty cool, huh? Let's do the SGLT2. That's a cool one for a sec. So we start the SGLT2. Problem is now these beta hydroxybutyrate goes up. Now this needs to get fixed. This is actually wrong because glucose still, again, I still need to fix this. Glucose is euglycemic because the SGLT2. So once you stop SGLT2, glucose actually goes up worse. So stopping it actually, that doesn't make sense. Stopping SGLT. Now, yeah, you see, this is wrong. You see, again, I focus so much on DKA Classic that I need to, you see, the cool part is me creating this has made me a master in DKA, which is very cool. But anyhow, this is just for fun. I don't know. I like to F around, guys. This is like, when I don't understand something, I like to make a model of it because I want to have a mental model of the world. And I don't know, just something I want to share with you guys. Anyway, this is the future of medicine, okay? I mean, it is what it is. Just want to show you. All right, so now that we talked about something that was unrelated to the video, sorry, let's go ahead and talk about, well, I hope you can connect the dots, okay? The point is if I'm able to do this on my own, just imagine what a business can do. You see, I hope it's nothing I say doesn't have a meaning. Sometimes you might have to dig through things, especially when I'm tired, because I speak in riddles sometimes, right? I learned that from my mentor, right? He's a riddle speaker. All right. So anywho, this is the part C and D star ratings. The big thing here is the health equity index is something that Clover is like number one in, right? And the big thing that I just want us to basically kind of take from this is HEDIS is, Clover's really good with HEDIS. And make sure they're like number one, right? So beginning 2027 star rating, CMS will use the HEI reward to focus on contracts serving larger percentages. So the point is regardless what the star ratings are now, in the long term, it's going to go in Clover's direction. Again, Clover's playing the long game, right? And there's going to be some short-sighted people, and it's okay. You know what? Those are folks that probably bought high and probably selling low, right? I think somebody called me a scumbag, right? Because they bought high and they're selling low. I mean, seriously, right? I'll take your shares, man. Will that make me a bigger scumbag? I don't know. Right? I would love your shares, man. Give them to me, please. Please donate me, right? I guess maybe I am a scumbag if I take them, right? But hey, you sold them, right? Well, it is what it is. So let's connect the dots here, okay? Who the hell is this Blaine guy, right? So he's the vice president of enterprise growth at Now Partnerships, right, for Counterpart Health, right? Subsidiary of Clover Health in 2025. Former LDaddy leader, right? And growth and I'm calling it LDaddy, right? In growth and enterprise partnerships with a track record of payer relationships and market expansion. Now he's focused on scaling Counterpart, assisting with national risk-bearing partners and accelerating regional adoption. Now, this is actually pretty big, guys, because think about it. Use your brain. This guy's had success, right? This guy's has created 40 baggers in stocks from a company that no one knew, and I'll talk a little bit more about this daddy. All right, so LDaddy's starting point when Bain joined it. So in 2015, planned ACO operations across 11 states. By Jan 16, with 100 plus practices and about 80,000 Medicare lives, right? You see where this is going, right? With Clove, right? So 2016, 142 practices across 11 states for 80,000 patients and, saved Medicare about 9.3 million. I mean, how much money you think Clover's going to save, right? Think about that, right? 1,000, if you were to say 1,000 basis points, I would say, yeah, you're right. I mean, based off of what I've seen with Clover. Now, expansion to 2017 to 2019. So what happened? So in 2017, more than 200 practices in 15 states, representing about 240,000 covered lives and $2 billion in spending under management, right? And remember, we got those subdomains, guys. How many lives in Duke? How many lives in Southern Illinois, right? So in 2019, organized in 27 ACOs across 24 states, partnering with about 430 practices, accountable for nearly 650,000 people. Holy moly, right? So here's the financial traction in 2020 to 2022. 2020 profitability reported with revenue projecting around 185 million. So, this guy comes in, jumps in, and literally profitability was met in 2020. So then you see this, you see what I'm saying here, guys, right? So in 2021, about 300 million revenue with around 1.2 million patients. Yeah, that's 1.2 million patients, right? That's a lot. And contracts and roughly 800 practices across 31 states. Whoa, 31 states? Whoa, right? Are you starting to see what I'm saying? Right? Remember, guys, I want access to this software. I want to use this software, right? But Clover needs help, and this guy is going to do it, right? This guy is going to help me get the software for my own practice. Because remember, future doctor here, right? I'm not about to read all those pages. I want AI to help me, okay? Well, I have to read the pages, but I want AI to help. You know what I mean? So I can focus more on the patient, right? Don't you hate the doctor that looks at the computer? Trust me, it's not the freaking doctor's fault. You think the doctor wants to look at that damn freaking screen, right? He wants to look at you, right? All right, so anywho, 2022 revenue, maybe some doctors not. I don't know. I can't speak for all of them. I'm just kidding. So 2022 revenue above 475 mil. Yeah, you got that right. 475 mil, which is more than 50% growth rate. A 50% growth rate. Imagine a 50% growth rate for counterpart revenue. Are you starting to see where we're going with this, guys? Come on, guys. Use your brain, right? Come on. Over a year and accumulating savings to date, 1.7 billion. Now, operating proof points from 2023 to 2024. So 2023, about 801 million below CMS target for MSSP, resulting in about $261 million returned to taxpayers, right? And nearly about 538 million in shared savings for partners. Now think about this, okay? Can you imagine in seeing Counterpart being able to basically advertise how much they pay, how much they save the taxpayer money by using their AI platform to save? Isn't that part of the Doge platform? Everyone's going to be talking about this on Twitter. All these talking heads on Twitter that have like literally hundreds of thousands of like subscribers, they're going to be like, oh my God, this thing is like a Doge saver, and everyone's going to invest in it. And then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make my money, right? I'm going to drink pina coladas with my lifetime access members. We're going to enjoy Hawaii together, right? And it's going to be great. And then we're going to go ahead and activate the wheel strategy. Before I go on with this presentation, let me just say something, right? Just so you understand, so you know that I know that you know what I mean? So in 2 days, just in 2 days this week, I can make right now $23,600. I can make $23,600 every freaking week, right? Think about that, right? I need you to use your brain. Every week I can make about this much money. Why am I? But I'm not selling. Like I can sell again. You see how many shares I have here, and I have another 100,000 shares, right? Think about it. I can make right now if I really want to, and and this will fill. Trust me, it'll fill, right? I can make right now 94,000 and jump to 94,000 a month. Why am I letting go of 94,000 a month? It was actually higher this morning, right? I'm letting go of $1.1 million right now a year. Why am I letting that burn? Right? I don't even give a shit about that. I don't care. Let it burn. Let it burn. I don't want it. I don't want any bit of this money. Now you might look at me like, what the hell is this guy? A socialist? What is this guy? AOC? No, I'm not, right? Of course I like money. Everybody likes money. No, because you're doing a covered call at 3 when Clover Health bought their stock at $3.60. You must be baloney. Crazy. I'm not going to do that. I teach about intrinsic value and all this shit, and then I go ahead and do something like that. Screw this million. I'll put this million down the toilet. I don't want this million, right? This million can go down the freaking toilet. And you guys are looking at me like, man, this guy sounds a little weird. Who the hell says that? Well, talk to me in 5 years, okay? Then we can talk, right? Talk to me in 5 years and you'll see what I'm talking about, right? Again, this is a case study, right? This is like literally, If you read all the books about investing, these 1,000 videos, it's going to be like you, because you've seen all the emotions. People are like, oh my God, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. Clover, I hate Clover, all these things. And just watch. It's just going to be great. All right. This is going to be fun. All right. Anywho, let's go back. So helps with taxpayers. So in 2023, about $549 per Medicare beneficiary in shared savings, which again, shared savings, right? Shared savings. Hello, right? Does that sound familiar? Which is about double non-daddy averages, and about 93% of partner practices earn savings. Remember, this thing returned $262 million back and about 538 shared savings to partners. Just imagine how much money is this going to save for Clover and Humana. Just imagine. Are you guys starting to see this, babe? Oh my God. Right now, 2024 public benefit report cites, I can't read, more than 1,900 practices in 45 states plus DC, right? With over 2.5 million patient lives and more than $2 billion in the system savings since foundation. $2 billion in system savings. Okay? Again, this is El Daddy. All right? All right, let's continue. There's more. So El Daddy scale now. So 2025, more than 2,400 practices and centers partnerships serving nearly 3 million patients across 46 states. Listen, this guy led the growth and expansion of this company. Now he's coming to Clover, Counterpart specifically. What do you think he's going to do to Counterpart? What do you think he's going to do? Again, guys, you're not going to be able to see this type of due diligence anywhere else. When I tell you I go deep, I go deep. I go deep. It feels good. Okay? You got to go deep in life. A life not examined is not a life worth living. Right? You got to go deep. Okay? And again, I've seen, I can't say much, but I have a physician, a friend, because you guys know I'm in the healthcare field. He showed me Counterpart. I can't show you because, patients, right? I saw Counterpart with my own eyes. I saw Counterpart with my own freaking eyes. I shared my experience in lifetime access. Let me tell you something, guys. I am very happy of what I've seen. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen Counterpart. I've seen the mountaintop. Okay. This is what they created is huge. You understand what huge is? We're talking Donald Trump huge. Okay. All right. So more, how does he say it? Like with a Y, right? Huge, right? Anywho, more than 200 value-based contracts across Medicare, Medicare Advantage, Medicaid, and commercial payers, right? Huge, right? So think about that, right? Think about that, right? I mean, So now let's go ahead and look at this graph. So yeah, this graph, again, not the best graph, but it gives the point, right? So Al Daddy revenue in 2020 to 2022. Look at that revenue. 185 mil to 475 mil. Remember, Clover has better penetration than Al Daddy. Al Daddy started from, ground zero. You understand what I'm saying? We have an advantage here. Now, let me tell you something right now. Okay? Everybody's talking about Tempest AI, Tempest AI, Tempest. It's funny. We were talking about Tempest when it was 30 freaking Tempest dollars. Okay. Now, let me tell you something about these Tempest dollars here. Okay. Everybody talking about it like, oncology discovery. Like they know like these people on YouTube know anything about oncology. I was in an oncology lab for 2-3 years. I was working with Dr. Limison. I was working on the polarity of cells when cells lose their polarity. I was doing Western blots and all this stuff. Yeah. Let me tell you something about cancer, right? Well, yes, there's a lot of cancer out there, God forbid, knock on wood, but, there's a lot of COPD and diabetes and heart disease, right? So let me, just, be smart. Okay. Everyone's talking about Tempest AI. Well, the price to sales of Tempest AI, I think is like what, 15? And the private market right now is not even evaluating freaking El Daddy. But look, price to sales is 16 right now for Tempest AI. Now, you're telling me right now, if we make $475 million off of this price to sales, that's about, divide by 1,000. That'll pretty much basically send us, plus the stock price right now, that'll send us to $18.47, right? But remember, Vivek went ahead and said that we are about to enter a bubble. And I'm going to tell you right now, I've studied history. You know, I'm data. Like I got data in my veins. Okay. When Michelle kisses me, she feels a zap of data. You understand me? Like I'm data. I'm all ones and zeros, guys. That's how I run my life. Okay. Now let me tell you something. All right. Don't you think we're going to get into a bubble? Don't you? I mean, right now, look at Palantir right now, especially if the free cash flow margin, which we're going to study for Clover, for Counterpart. Just imagine price to sales. What is the price to sales of freaking Palantir? 137. Just imagine if we do the price to sales of freaking Palantir, which I don't think we're going to get to, but just show you what the top could be. And that's only for $475 million in revenue. You go in and do that. That's 6 times 2. That's $130 stock price, right? And I think Counterpart is going to be in the billions of revenues, okay? But I'm just giving you an example of where this could go, okay? You got to know what you own, right? It is what it is. Another man's trash is another man's treasure. And hey, man, I'll take your trash. It's not the first time I dug through trash, right? I dug through trash. I can't speak. I dug through trash and look where I am now, right? So it's okay. We can all be trash diggers together, right? Right? Homeless man taught me about intrinsic value. That's a good shirt, right? We got to make that, man. We really do. I can't wait to. I'll freaking word that, right? That's a good one. But you could see this is not, and again, this is not the end of the L Daddy revenue. I'm sure they're going to do well. So you're starting to see this whole thing, right? You're starting to kind of fit the pieces together, right? And later on, we'll talk about Blaine and what he said. Maybe we can. We'll do it maybe in this video. Let me just kind of finish this off here. But I hope that you're starting to get this. Like imagine making $475 million in SaaS revenue in the public market. I just did 16 price to sales of Tempest AI. That's without a freaking, imagine when the bubble starts, right? This is in healthcare being crap right now. And it's a contrarian buy given our data. What do you think is going to happen when the AI bubble explodes? What do you think is going to happen? Right? Now, let me tell you something about intrinsic value to all my lifetime access members. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a standard deviation analysis. The problem is sometimes you've noticed that, Palantir is trading way above its intrinsic value. But like Mr. Ass Full of Sass or Biden's feet, man, you keep changing your name on me, man. Right? I'm going to just call you JB, man. JB, right? The original JB, right? All these name changes. All right, let me tell you something, okay? Do you remember whatchamacallit? Ah, man, I totally lost my train of thought. Jesus, I'm so freaking tired. Could someone remind me what the hell I just said right now in the past 5? I'm like that freaking fish from Finding Nemo. It was such a good point too. I have to re-listen to the video. Someone put it in the chat. Remind me what the hell I was talking about. You see, this is what happens when you do a live on like low sleep. It's like freaking late for me right now. 10:41. I've been up since like freaking 4:30 in the morning, guys. So I'm tired. Let me think. What was I saying? Price to sales. 15. The bubble here. Oh yes, there it is. Got it. Standard deviation. I have to follow my train of thought. All right, good. So, your margin, your mean reversion graph. Yeah, that's just simple standard deviation, right? So what ends up happening is we can analyze all the stocks in history, and we can analyze stocks like Palantir and all of them, and we can see how far they are trading from intrinsic value in terms of standard deviation. And let's say they're trading 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, whatever standard deviations away. That'll give us an imagination of how much intrinsic value standard deviation variation that we can essentially get to if we are in an AI bubble, right? Because that will help, right? And now that, and it's really nice not to be first, because there's a lot of people out there that sold Palantir at $30 and they're looking at themselves right now like, they're dumb. It is what it is, right? We have the luxury of looking at other stocks and kind of seeing like this, how this AI bubble is going to broaden out. Right now, it's focused on few select sectors, and it's about to broaden out. And it's going to be good. All right, now, what the signals for Clover and Counterpart Health? Commercial and payer partnerships, blueprint proven at national scale, including risk-aligned contracts and shared savings operation. A focus on independent primary care enablement, which fits counterpart assistant value proposition for clinician workflow and risk performance. So, again, this shows you that, you just be on the lookout right now, right? That's all I'm going to say, especially with them being ahead on this end here, right? So, what else now? I needed to do something else. Let me think. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, let me just go to the chat and then we'll talk about this here. Sorry about that, chat. Let me just see what's going on. Hey, what's up? Huge. Yeah, awesome slides out. Appreciate you. Our TAM is so large with CA. People are so unaware. Yeah, so people don't know what TAM is. You guys know what TAM is, guys? So TAM is two. I'm just kidding. No. Total, I was going to think of something, but I can't say that's a cuss word, right? Okay. So anyway, I'll just say it. Total addressable market, right? So that's, again, when you want to look at a company, first of all, I can only speak to myself. When I look at a company, I like to look at the total addressable market, right? How big is this market, right? Because if it's a small market, then, is it really worth investing, right? So, yeah, multi-trillion, absolutely. Homeless man taught me to be a trash collecting scumbag. Oh, wow. Jesus Christ. That is ouch, right? Oh my God. A TAM is what the used to cover their locks. Honestly, I'm sure. I don't know. I've never seen that. What the hell is a Radis? Radis lock? Honestly, I should probably not Google things from the chat. I probably might get in trouble. I don't know. Probably not the best idea. All right. So what's it called? Rastafarians? What is that? Yeah, man, you're teaching me something. I don't know. I don't know this. Doesn't that look like Bob Marley? I don't know. That looks like Bob Marley. Where's Bob Marley? I don't know what this is. Okay, so okay, let me think. So this is like the other terminal we have with third parties. Again, you get access to it lifetime, so it's really, it's just an added benefit, kind of like, cherries on top. But what I like about it is you can look at the short volume for Clover. So a lot of this was floating around the internet, and it's funny because they took the screenshot from the terminal, which is really cool. But if you look at the short, the short interest for Clove, you'll find actually something interesting. You'll find here's the short shares, and you can see, since June we've been like shorted to oblivion. And then there's like another short volumes here. Clove. Let's look at the 1 month. Come on, guys. If this ain't giving it to you, I don't know what is. Right, here's Clover Health, Clove, and you can see the short volume here on October 1st. And here's the yellow is the stock price. You can see this huge short volume, and then you just basically got a big drop. Right. No, I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, no, honestly, man, we got to teach each other. You know what I mean? So that's the beautiful. I learned a lot from my lifetime members, so it's a growth mindset, bringing people that want to grow. It's self-selective. People are not going to pay for something that they don't, the type of people that come to the platform, they want to learn, and it's just and people that they want to give to. So we don't really have a lot of folks that just take. So it's a lot of people that like to share and learn. So it's really nice. So you can see here, this is obviously not normal. I'm curious though. Don't you want to know like the history of this? Like let's look at the long-term history. Can we? Let's go look at. Let's do a year. Oh God, look at that. That's huge, guys. That's like big, man. We haven't even had this much up here. Look at that. It's like they try to short us here, and then Vivek bought, and then it's like, well, That's so weird, guys. I don't know. I mean, I don't know about the star ratings. Maybe the star ratings were bad. I don't know. We'll see. But again, the long term, it's where it's at. I already made my star video. You can look at it. I posted it 2-3 days ago. So that's pretty much all I have, guys. Honestly, I mean, this is. I hope that this was pretty good. But now you guys see why I'm leaving $90K a month on the table. I mean, what can you do with $90K a month? Honestly, I mean, can't you like do a lot with that? Like, what can you do with $90,000 a month? You could do anything, right? Like, what's one thing you can't do with it? Right? Maybe buy the love of your kids. I don't know. Maybe money might help that too. I don't know. Buy you health. No, I don't know. Buy you more time. I don't know. But $90,000 is a lot of money. Yeah, exactly. You could retire at that rate. So why the hell am I not retiring? Right? Maybe I think there's something wrong with my brain. I think I have some cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Maybe I'm gonna be that like rich guy who just people look at me at the hospital like I'm crazy. It's really funny, guys. I come to the hospital working my ass off, and people are just like, a lot of people know that I'm like a multimillionaire, and people are just like, why are you here? I'm like, here because I want to help patients, because I care. I care about patient care, Scooby, you okay? You good boy? Yeah, close to retirement is pretty much, I could retire off of 90K. I mean, what tell me, why am I not doing that? I could do it right now, guys. I mean, I could just get 90K. I mean, why am I not, why? Because I'm greedy. I don't know. Shit. I don't know. I'm greedy. I want more. I don't know. I don't know what it is, because I have a point to prove. Let's see here. Hey, Al, I would love to understand the wheel strategy better, especially once shares get called and stock is still above intrinsic value. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, I would say, because it's hard to give direct financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor, but I think we can have an educational support group where we can all come together, and we can all, from an educational perspective, just understand the concept of what a cover call is. From that perspective, I would say, I would not want to do, like, I just speak for myself, right? Why would I want to do a covered call for $3 effing when I know this company is worth more? It's like I'm shooting myself in the foot. It's like I have a house that it's worth $1 million, but I'm going to sell it for 300,000. Like, it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like, it's just terrible, But I just, yeah, people look at me like I'm crazy, man. I mean, like, I have all this money, but I go in the hospital and I still work, right? Because again, guys, listen, it's funny because you don't know what you have. I don't know how to explain this. Maybe I'm just different, but I'm gonna give you an example. Pretend you can have whatever you want, and you can literally have whatever you want. It's crazy what people do for money. Like, when you get to maybe I should make a video about how my life has changed going from homelessness to becoming a multimillionaire. I'll tell you something. It's changed. It's really weird, man. People do it's really crazy, guys. Let me tell you something. Imagine if you could do anything you want, and you could go to a beach and you could have beachfront view and all this other bullshit, right? Ask yourself, how long will it take you to do that until you get sick of it? Because you're going to get sick of it. The best way to describe it to you, and I think Joe Rogan talked about this, is like when you get something new, you're like, really, like when you got like a new iPhone or something. Like, when I get a new iPhone now, I don't give a shit. Like, I honestly, I don't really care about material things anymore. I don't care. Like, I just don't. I'm just passing through time, right? I just don't care about materialistic things. But like this. But I remember when I used to care. I used to get really excited because I didn't have much. I used to get really excited by like tech, right? And when I get new tech, I mean, I got really excited with Peter Lynch's stock terminal, but that's like different. That's like, I was like happy as hell. But like, Now I look at it, it's right in front of me, and I still get excited. Maybe that's a bad example. I think I'm always going to get excited with Peter Lynch, but you know when you get something new for Christmas and you're excited, but after like 6 months, you're just like, yeah, okay, that's there. You know what I mean? There's going to come a time when you have all this money and you're going to say, what next? What next? You have all this money. You've tried all the best foods in the world. You've tried some Rothschild $1,000 wine. Yes, I've tried that. And I'm not going to lie to you. It tastes like $80 wine, right? I'm so stupid of spending $1,000 on some freaking 100-year-old wine that honestly tasted bad in my opinion, but whatever, you know. You're going to do all this stupid shit, right? And then it's like, then what? You try all the things you want to try. Then what's left? For me, I found happiness taking care of people. I don't know, man. Like imagine like having a patient that's sick and you, through your skills, can take care of this patient. And this patient's able to go have more time with their kids, right? Instead of like leaving and, the kids don't have a father or a mother. Isn't that like worth better than money? Don't you think? Like imagine if someone saved your dad's life. Is there a dollar amount on that? No, there isn't. So anyhow, point is I can retire now, but I'm not. I just like the game. And you guys should see how I dress. I dress really like basic. I don't really like to, like what's the I don't know. I just don't care. I don't care, So maybe there's people that are different. People that get money, they like to, scream and all these things. But I personally, the reason why I'm like all vocal about it on YouTube is so I can teach you guys what I'm doing, because I feel like what I'm doing is criminal, man. Like being able to print this much money, that's like criminal, guys. Like it just doesn't make sense. Like we got homeless on the street. Let me show you something. I got to take a picture of what it is now. But let me show you something, so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. So this was Tucson back in the 70s. Dude, it looks so freaking good. I know this street, man. I literally know this street. Dude, look at how many businesses there are, man. Look at that, man. It's like freaking nice, man. Like, look at that. Now look at it, man. Let me show you something. Country Club, Tucson, Arizona, homelessness. Dude, all those businesses are gone. This is what it looks like now. That street that you saw or in that area. How does America go from this? I mean, like, look how many businesses you see here. You got Big Breaks. You got a thing called Golf. I think that's like a gas station. Townhouse Supper Club. Dude, I want to Google this. Townhouse Supper Club. Tucson. Like, is there like a... Yeah, I don't know if you can find it, but it's just... This is Speedway. This was Speedway and this. You see how beautiful Speedway and Country Club right here? Watch what it looks like now. Speedway and Country Club. Maybe someone might be able to. It's hard to find the picture, but this serves the purpose. Like, how do we go from like like this? Like, just someone please help me. How do we go from like this? Like, look at all these signs. Look at all these little freaking businesses. Like, this looks like a utopia, man. This was in the 70s. Like, look at this, man. This was Tucson. God, I wish I had a freaking time machine just to be able to. Dude, it does not look like, it looks like shit now, dude. It looks like garbage right now, dude. There's like homeless everywhere, man. It looks terrible. How do we go from this? I see no poverty here. How do we go from this to this? I mean, does this beware of dog? I mean, does this like I am ashamed to be an American right now. That I'm able to print all this cash, and there's billionaires which I've learned from billionaires, and there's people that are out there. Then you have this. I'm only one man. I've donated millions of pounds of fresh. I mean, I've done so much, man. I mean, like what? It's like I pissed in the ocean, did nothing. It's like piss in the ocean. So it's crazy, man. It's just crazy. You know when they say the middle class has evaporated, bro? I think of this. There's Motorola before it went bankrupt. I think. Well, I mean, Motorola's still here, I think, but this wasn't as big. There's Shell. Man, wouldn't it be nice just to walk the street to see all these businesses? Man, it's just sad. Man. And I'm sure you guys are watching the video probably, or were alive in the I wasn't alive in the 70s, so I don't know this. I don't know this part of America. But I sure wish I saw it, man. I can look at this picture for ages, man. I pray that we see a country like, I really pray we get to this, but I don't think so, guys. This is why it's important to invest. I mean, why do you think I make this video, man? I got to wake up early in the morning tomorrow. And why do you think I'm doing this? Right? Why? I can just do this for myself. Okay. All right. I already have money. Like what need more money? What the fuck am I going to do with more money? Right? Well, how's that going to help my life? Right? What, bigger house? Bigger watch? All right. I already got a $10,000 watch. What, do I need more? Right? Come on. So I wish I can live in a city where everyone in it has a roof over their head and doesn't sleep like this. And unfortunately, with AI, a lot of these billionaires, a lot of these CEOs, they're not being truthful. A lot of jobs are about to be lost. You're going to see mass layoffs. And universal income is going to become a thing, I think. And I just pray that a lot of you people that, learn how to invest in America, invest in your own disruption. Right? Just sad. Like, look at Sam Altman, right? It's funny. It's like you can't trust these people, man. Look, Sam Altman said AI is in a bubble. Didn't he say AI was in a freaking bubble? Watch this. So, I mean, it's all time stamped. OpenAI, Sam Altman, this guy. Okay, for people who don't know this freaking guy right here. This guy here is the CEO of OpenAI. He's the one who created ChatGPT with his friends. He said in August 18, he said that he sees AI bubble forming as industry spending surges. I just want you to remember this date, August 18. Now watch this. Look at this. Look at this BS. Sam Altman then goes in and buys. Watch this. Look at this. So August 18, let's see what happened. August 18, Sam Altman said AI is in the bubble. So here's August 18. I mean, just shows you how nasty this is. August 18, he said AI is in the bubble. AMD fell 14%. Okay. AMD fell 14%. Why do you think he said that? So August 18 is here. He said, AI is in a bubble, right? And he's been saying it before. So this thing fell literally 18%, but we'll just say on the date of the publication, it fell 14%. Okay. And then all of a sudden, this mother effer on October 6th, AMD stock skyrockets 23% as OpenAI looks to take a stake in AI chip maker. They want to buy a 10% stake in the company. Oh, there's an AI bubble. Ho, 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 ho. Right? So this was August 6th. Now watch. Look what happened to the stock price here's October 3rd. I'm sorry. I said August 6th. I can't speak, guys. October 6th. October 6th. Okay? So August 18, he said AI was in the bubble. Right? AI is in the bubble. So then all of a sudden, AMD crashed 14%. And then on October 6th, right after that crash, they take a freaking 10% stake in AMD. And look, the stock price went up 28%. So watch. He said AI on August 8th, AI was August 18, he said AI was in a bubble. This thing crashed. And then they take a stake, and then it goes up 39.94%. Why did he say AI was in a bubble if he's going to buy 10% of AMD? And you can see AMD freaking surges 31% in 5 days. This is a lot. Why do you think he would say that? Because he wanted the valuations to go lower so he can buy. He wanted people to be fearful so he can be greedy. And guess what? When he made those comments about AI was in a bubble, it affected the market. Here's 18, and it fell. NVIDIA fell 3.6%. Now, if you don't think that's a lot, dude, NVIDIA is $4.5 trillion freaking dollars. This thing fell 3.6%. What is 0.0363 times 4.5? Bro, NVIDIA fell $163 billion that day. $163 billion off of that statement. If Clover was let me give you an example. If all that money went to Clover, the Clover stock price would be $326. I would have right now on the public portfolio $110 million. I'm trying to give you I'm just trying to show you these numbers. Okay. So what am I trying to tell you? Okay. You know how we go from this to this? People don't care. Everyone just wants a good deal. Right? No one's going to teach you how to think. I'm trying to teach you how to think. This guy says, AI is in a bubble on August 18, and then literally a month after, less than a month, he buys a stake in OpenAI in AMD. He wanted the stock price to go down. And you might say, Sam Altman, I don't like him. I agree with Elon. Well, let me tell you something about Elon. Elon Musk said 6-month break in AI. Why do you think he wanted a 6-month break in AI? I don't know if you'll be able to find news articles that says, 6 said, take a 6-month break in AI development. You know what? It won't find it for me, but you know what? I can use AI. Find me this article. Let me show you. Oh, come on, dude. Sorry, guys. What the hell is this? All right. Let's search. It's searching the web. Here it is. I think it's this. Here. Okay. Elon Musk on April 5th, 2023 Elon Musk and others urge AI pause, citing risk to society. Okay. Now, I want you to know that date, April 5th, 2023. Okay. Now watch this. When was Grok created? Give me, I can't spell. Give me the date in one line. I don't want it to give me gibberish. It was created November 2023. So this was April. So Elon Musk said this on April, right? So that's 11 minus 4. That's 7 months. So he wanted like a 6-month pause, but yet after 7 months, he went ahead and created his own AI. Don't you think that he probably wanted to slow the competitors down or something like that to get his foot in the door? I mean, does it kind of seem like that from a business perspective? That's says here, that's a sharp and reasonable. A lot of business, have raised the exact point. Timing. Think about that. Use your brain, guys. From a business perspective, it appears that Musk called for a 6-month pause, may have had dual motives, one rooted in genuine concern about AI risk. So I'm sure he was concerned about it, but he built his own AI, and another strategic positioning to buy time and space to build his own AI venture, which he's done very good on. Like I'm trying to show you what the media is not going to tell you, right? AI is dangerous. Let's do a 6-month pause. 7 months later, you know that meme. A few moments later, right? I'm building my own AI. That's interesting. You wanted your competitors to stop. Okay, all right. I don't know. Again, it's an observation. Sam Altman. I'm talking crap about both these people, right? Sam Altman goes ahead, and it's not crap. I'm just wanting you to think for yourself. Sam Altman goes ahead and basically says, what does he say? AI is in the bubble in freaking August, and then the stocks, AMD crashes, and he gets a 10% stake in AMD. Are you seeing? You cannot. The only truthful thing that Jim Cramer said is that anything out of Wall Street is false. This is business, guys, and people lie. And I'm trying to teach you to navigate through a bunch of liars that want your money. Okay? So I hope that, you guys are seeing, I'm connecting all these dots for you, okay? Right? There's a lot of dots. There's so many dots, guys. So many dots. And it's hard to connect them all on one video. I mean, it's going to take hours because I know this company like the back of my hand. Okay? The freaking company knows who I am. Right? So, the thing is, I've never even talked to them. A few, but like I've never reached out. I've never sent one email to investor relations. Not even sent one email, dude. I filled out one of their question forms and they answered my question, which is I'm very thankful. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate you. Again, but the thing is you can't trust anybody. This is Wall Street, man. You really think you think anybody can make money like this, it would be easy? Come on, man. Look at this. If it was this beautiful, then why the hell did it turn into this? You want to live in an area that looks like this now? It's like upper middle class now, if not rich. Anywho, let me go ahead and look at the comments. Sorry for the spiel. I wanted to show you, because the problem is, guys, you look at all these news articles and you just scroll past them. You don't analyze. You're like brains on auto freaking pilot and you don't freaking think. Analyze what these people do. These people are strategic. These people lie. Okay? You can see them and catch them lying right through their teeth. Okay, let me think here. Absolutely, yes. It's also possible to short down spreading the stars downgrade over CH. Accumulate more shares, they might actually be positioned for stars. Upgrade. Who knows? Again, you can't. Again, I don't trust anything. Yeah, exactly. You know, you need money first. Yep. I agree. Freedom to focus on real things in life, health, family, pets, friends, etc. Let's see here. It's insane. The volume is interesting. That's true. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, simple life, less technology, and groceries, mortgages were a whole lot less expensive. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's all they do is lie. So, and by the way, just so you know, that's a dog. That's a dog right there. Right? So, again, I can't listen, guys. Trust me. I can't I can't fix the world. Like, you know, all these like freaking my Democratic friends. Oh, we can change the world. I mean, maybe you can. Maybe AOC and, you know, some Donnie, and maybe they might be able to do it. I'm rooting for them. You know what I mean? You know, like try to like help the poor. You know, I'm rooting for you guys. But I'm sorry, I gave up. I lost faith. You know, because trust me, man, I worked my ass off, man. You know how many freaking homeless people I fed? You know, I brought millions. I literally smacked down million. I had more produce than all the Costco's in Arizona. You understand what I'm telling you? I had millions of pounds of fresh produce, and I was literally just packing it in to all the poor areas in Arizona. Right? Why do you think I got 40 under 40 most influential? Right? I wasn't even, and as I was doing that, these a-holes on the Federal Reserve were freaking insider trading stocks because they knew they were going to cut interest rates and the discount rate was going to go down and the intrinsic value is going to go up. I'm not going to be able to change the world, right? But we can make money with them. These people are always going to get rich. This game is for them. But you know what we can do? I got access to the data and we could go ahead and make money with them, right? It is what it is. You can't be against them, you know, what AMC folks were doing. No, you can't do that. You're stupid. You can't be against these people. You got to work with them, right? You got to learn from them, right? You got to get on your knees and learn this freaking information they teach. And that's what I did. I got on my knees and I read every book and I freaking I like a dog, I got rolled on my back and I went ahead and tried to learn from a lot of these people. And I made good friends with a bunch of billionaires, and it is what it is, right? And now I'm teaching you, right? Exactly. You got to learn how to play by their rule. This is their game. They run the Citadel runs the whole thing, guys. You got to learn. You got to learn the game. Okay. And it's okay. If you respect them, it's okay. They're all right. Fine. Make your money. It's fine. There you go. Right. You deserve it. Right. Here's a little sprinkle. Right. It's okay. That sprinkle can become big through compound interest. Okay. All these things. All right. So, any of you guys, I got to go to bed. As you can see, I try my best. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to change the world. I learned that in medical school. You can't change shit. You know what I mean? You come in with all these hopes and aspirations. The biggest thing you can change is one patient at a time. And I'm fine with that. I can't change the world, but I'll change one patient at a time. And guess what? I'll change one lifetime access member at a time. That's fine by me. And all my YouTube subscribers. Hey, that's good enough for me, man. It is what it is. Right? At least I did something, right? So anywho, just, you can't trust these people. These people lie. All these, people, they all lie. Right. And I hope that, I won't be able to save these people. But people that are watching, maybe we can live a life like this, Yeah. It is what it is. I wish I had a time machine, man. Oh shit. That's a U-Haul right here. Look at that. That's U-Haul, right? You can see the U and the Haul. It's like freaking Wells Waldo here. Was that Topless? Was that a strip club? What is that? Topless? What is that? Is that a strip club? What the hell? There's everything here, Holy moly. Looks like Topless to me. What is that, right? What is that? SN something? My Republican friends, oh, that's MAGA, make America great, right? Yeah, no turn on red. Man, it's okay. Even the cars look good. I wish you guys all the best. And I hope you guys accomplish all your dreams. The big thing is that, if you guys can make generational wealth, that'll be good. That's what I'm trying to do. Because, if I want to bring a kid into this world, I don't want this kid to ever be alone. Because I felt that. It's not the best feeling. I'm thankful now I have Michelle and all you guys, but there are days, it's dark days when you're alone. But if you're in those days, you got to learn a skill, and and then be able to do stuff, and you feel better after, right? But I can't reach these people, right? Sad, but I'm doing the best. There's only so much I can do, guys, right? So anywho, at some stage we are all going to be alone. I mean, we're all going to face death by ourselves. Like in terms, I mean, not me. We can have family around, but it's tough, right? But we're all in this together. We formed a really good group, and I always like to go back to Peter Lynch. I go back to reading these books and just to ground myself, right? And then so that's all I have for you guys. One thing that I'm looking forward to, this is going to be kind of off topic, but I haven't done this in a while because I've just been so busy. I'm going to get Michelle a dress. I did that on one of her many first dates. I got her a dress. She reminded me today. I was such a good boy 10 years ago. That was 10 years ago, man. I was a good kid. I got her a dress. We went shopping for a dress, and then it was a dress to go to church in. So then we went to church. I haven't gone to church in a while. Yeah, it's been a while. I'm so busy, trying to do God's work that I haven't. I think it's time for me to go back home a little bit and just kind of meditate into church a little bit. It's been a while with all this medicine and stuff, so, but yeah, I just a few more weeks, got to do a couple more things, and I'll be able to get back to the church. Be pretty good. But anyhow, guys, that's all I have to say. Hope you found this video enjoyable. Hope you realize these billionaires are all liars. But that's I show you proof. You can see, you got to read between the lines. And I'm very excited with this new hire. I'm excited for HEDS being calculated and the star ratings for the future. And that's it. So thank you all for watching the video. Appreciate you guys. You mean a lot to me. And we're gonna do this together. And we're gonna bring home the gold. All right. Love you guys. Peace out. Have a nice day.